everybody, so now we're back for the second video of this three-part video series that I've made. So we have already done integers, right? We've done that already. So as I told you in the first video, now we're going to be moving to solving algebraic equations in factored forms that have decimals. So I am on page 207 right now, and I'm in practice example B. So page 207, practice example B. So it has 1.5 times w plus 2 equals 8. Now, my first step is that I expand the factored expression. So you got to say, well, which is the factored part? This is the factored part. The common misconception might be thinking that 1.5 is distributed to that positive 2, but that is not correct, right? This 1.5 is directly next to the parentheses. So the implied multiplication is, implied meaning there's not a times side, you're supposed to just understand. When a number is written directly next to parentheses, it means it is multiplied by the terms inside the parentheses. But because this has a plus 2, it's no longer part of this factoring example, okay? The factored number only applies to the terms inside the parentheses, not a number that's outside of parentheses, okay? So so I would not be like, oh, I'm just gonna get rid of that 2 and minus 2. Don't even do any of that yet. Remember, the first step when you have a factored form equation is just to expand this factored part so that you can now start figuring out all your terms and what you're gonna do. So 1.5, actually, I'll leave that up there for you. 1.5 times w, so positive times a positive, is positive 1.5 w, right? A positive 1.5 times positive 2, and if I need to, I can do my multiplication out on the side. But 1.5 plus 1.5 is what 1.5 times positive 2 is, and we know that that means it's positive 3. All right, so we've now expanded this part. I've got plus 2 equals 8. So do you see why it made sense to not even deal with the constant at that point? Because I knew I was going to have another constant that I needed to combine. So let's go ahead and combine that. 1.5w plus 5 equals 8. Is positive 3 plus positive 2 is positive 5. And you might be like, I don't need to write all that out, Mrs. Sayward. I want you to at this point, because like I said in the last video, I'm seeing lots of silly errors, and I really think it's from people not writing out all the steps. And I know that's kind of a downfall of this distance learning, is so much of it's computer based, and it's easy to be like, oh, I don't need to write things down, I'm just going to type in my answers. But I really do want you doing it on the scrap paper on the side to really be writing out all your steps. So again, I'm isolating the variable, so I need to get rid of this constant. So the opposite of positive 5 is negative 5, right? Because I'm trying to undo positive 5. I can undo positive 5 with negative 5 and make it equal to 0, but I need to do the same thing on the other side of the equal sign. Then I have 1.5 w equals 3, because 8 minus 5 is 3. I've got multiplication coefficient, so I need to divide, right? I need to divide 1.5 by 1.5 because I'm trying to get this equal to 1. But if I need to divide by 1.5 on the left side, I need to do it on the right side. So w equals, well, what's 3 divided by 1.5? Positive divided by positive is positive 2. But remember, I want you substituting. So let's go ahead and try this out. 1.5 times 2 equals 3. And then I had 1.5. Oh, wait. So then I've got then I'm going to do plus 3, right? Because I had 1.5 times positive 2. So that's got 6, right? And then I'm going to add 2 plus 2 equals 8. And 8 is equal to 8, so I know that I did it correctly. So please do not skip that part of using your calculator, even if you don't have a phone, get a calculator at home, or use your Google Like Google has a calculator online that you can use. But when you solve a problem, please substitute, plug the value in for your variable so that you can make sure that you did it correctly. All right, now you're going to try an Edpuzzle 1 on your own.